Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ask Doc Live. Hope you're having a fabulous day so far. So nice to see so many faces. And if you're on here live with us and can turn your camera on, please do so. We love to see the smiling faces and everybody that is joining us. Also, make sure that you turn on the chat because our co-hosts, Nasima Omar, Ruth Ellen Sanchez, Heather Bowen, and Dr. Judy Reynolds, will be posting information in that chat that is going to be beneficial for those of you who are on live with us in being able to locate the information that is going to be shared. So we've got lots of great information, lots of resources to share with you. And our desire is to be a resource. For those of you who are with us in this mission of making sure people get the information that they need that's going to empower them to take control of their own health and wellness, we want to make sure this is a safe place that you can bring and invite your family and friends to. So there is no solicitation in the chat. If you have on your profile name and you have your phone number in there or business name, please change it to your name. We want to know who you are and make sure that we are able to celebrate you. So without further ado, my name is Rebecca Dukes-Kozak, and I will be your co-host for the next, or I will be the host for the next 2 hours. And joined with me are our co-hosts, Jonty McCollier, Nasima Omar, Ruth Ellen Sanchez, Dr. Judy Reynolds, and Heather Bowen. And it is our honor to be able to bring this information, this resource to you. I do want to remind you that the content of this program is to provide educational information only on the importance of nutrition and supplementation. Folks, back in 1932, there is a government document saying that our soil is void of minerals.
U.S. Senate Document 264.
Document 264. That's right, Dr. Wallach. So you can look that up. It's not just us saying it. We've got other people saying it as well. Just confirming that the information that we are bringing here to you today is so widely needed in being able to maintain our own health, because food supplies around the world are empty and void of the nutrition that we need, not just to survive, but actually thrive. And in this program, we will be sharing nutritional options that are available to fill those gaps. Now, the FDA does require us to let you know that our products are not meant to treat, prevent, diagnose, or cure any diseases. And this program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician. We are joined, though, by our own wonderful Dr. Wallach, who has been instrumental in suing with victories this establishment in being able to legally provide information and getting things added to food, especially baby formula, which we will be talking about today, because there's so many things that if it's missing, it can change the way we are able to function in life. And that's all proven in the science of epigenetics. Epigenetics has proven that the genetic theory is incorrect. And I love how Dr. Wallach says, you can have great genes and beautiful blue eyes, but everything else determines what you put in your body. And with epigenetics, folks, you are empowered to have more control over your health journey. We invite you to feel the difference of the options that we share in this program. And Dr. Wallach, I just want to welcome you to Ask Doc Live.
Well, thank you for the kind information, the kind introduction. You and your team are just fabulous, and I just love being with you guys on Friday mornings, and the other times we do get together. It's just a beautiful thing. And we have a birthday announcement that's very important here. Let's see here. May 11th, 1894, a woman, well, she was a little girl baby at the time, 1894. She was born Johanna Mazibuko. Johanna Mazibuko, Mazibuko. And if you know anything about Africa, you know that's an African name, Mazibuko. She's from South Africa, and she was born in 1894. She just turned 128, and
Wow.
she's still, you know, out there playing soccer. She had 50 grandkids, great grandkids, and great great grandkids, and so she's still out there walking with the grandkids and all this kind of stuff at 128. And she was born in South Africa in a little farming community where they grew corn. And I guarantee you, in 1894, they were putting wood ashes into the gardens and wood ashes into their food. And that's what they did back then. And like every place else in the world, in South Africa, the minerals occur in the soil in veins, like gold and silver. And of course, South Africa is famous for its gold supply. Okay, has very, very high rate of gold. But there's places in South Africa where people live a long time. There's places in South Africa where people don't do very well because these nutrients appear in veins. Okay, and if you live near one of those veins and you're gardening, you're putting wood ashes where the trees were grown or the corn stalks were grown right there, and you have all these minerals, you're going to have a healthier, longer life. So here she is, just turning 128, born May 11th, 1894. And she's got 50 grandkids, great grandkids, and great great grandkids. And they have beautiful pictures of her. And I apologize, I don't have the skill to pull the pictures off of Siri. But go to Siri, if you have Siri on your phone or your computer, go to Siri and say, who is the woman who just turned 128 from South Africa? And it'll pop up with several pictures of her, and it'll blow your mind. Okay, you know, she does, you know, look like a kind of a weathered, what should I say, a weathered sailor, but she's very physically active. You can tell she's very physically active. She's not a person who's laying in a bed with IVs and all this kind of thing. And you know, she could live to be 135. She could live to be 150. She could live to be 200. Biblically, when you look at some of the heroes of the Bible, they lived to be 150, 175, 300, 600. Even Methuselah lived to be 969. That's almost 1,000 years. Okay. And so it's one of those things where I start digging and find, okay, where did she live? What did she eat? And so on. And so I'm getting all that stuff put together in some detail. And so next week I'll have a more detailed report, but just got this wind of this kind of in the middle of this week. Okay. And so I got what I could get quickly. And of course, I want to remind you, I spent 2 years in South Africa on the White Rhino Conservation Project. It was my first postdoctoral fellowship, several $1 million from the World Wildlife Fund and Marlon Perkins from the old Mutual Mohawk Kingdom show. And there was 300 white rhino left in Natal province at the Umflozi and Shlushlui game reserves. And I was sent there by Marlon Perkins on this postdoctoral fellowship, spent 2 years there, caught 200 of them, shipped them to various places. And today there's 21,000 of these white rhino because we started all these various wildlife preserves in South Africa and southern Rhodesia. And we started shipping these white rhino there, plus 200 here, and then 50 into southern Rhodesia, because we didn't want them all in one place. You know, we didn't want all our eggs in one basket, so to speak. And so I spent 2 years on horseback, and my horse Wallach, was his name, Wallach, chasing white rhino. We're using a drug called etorphine, M99. It was 10,000 times more potent than morphine. Prior to me going there, they were using tranquilizer darts that were 10, 12 inches long, with cow and horse tranquilizers. Now, white rhino weighs 6,000 pounds. Well, with this etorphine M99, we could use a little 2-inch dart about the size of a AAA battery that you use in a pen light. Okay. And so we didn't have to get so close. I could get 10, 12, 15, 20 yards away from them and dart them. And then we had to train them for 6 or 8 weeks to eat and sleep in a big box, because we had to ship them to the rest of the world in these big boxes. Okay, so we had to train them to eat on the front end of the box. And as they dropped their manure on the back end of the box, we were cleaning out the manure. We didn't want them going crazy and breaking their neck. And so we had to train them to live 24/7 in this box. And once it took about 6 to 8 weeks to get them proper, and then we would ship them to the United States, we'd ship them to Europe, we'd ship them to Rhodesia and that kind of stuff. And so we went from 300 to now there's 21,000. I'm very, very proud of that. And the whole story, plus lots of pictures, so you can understand how we did this. There's pictures in here showing how we did it. And the book, of course, is called Rhino Express. And, you know, you can go to the places where you go and get all the good stuff, which is the www.drjwallach.com. And also, I have to tell you that Rebecca has a website too. You can go get the books. I'm sure she has all these. And it's one of those things where Humbagashle is go in peace in Zulu. Shlalagashle is come in peace in Zulu, because after 2 years there, I could speak Zulu pretty fluently, because we lived in the game reserves, never saw any civilized people with college degrees or anything like that. We were just living in the tribal areas, and we would shoot a few impala and a few wildebeest and stuff like that to give the local people meat, and they loved us for that. And so we got along great, and they would tell us, oh, there is Mkombe, which is the Zulu name for white rhino. And so they would tell us where they were. And so we'd go tranquilize them and dart them and put them in the box and so forth. So we're very, very proud of that project. Saved the white rhino species, but learned about the people, lived with the tribal people for 2 years in the bush. Only went to the cities once or twice in the 2 years. And so we're really very, very familiar with the life in the bush. So I know what Johanna Mazibuko went through as a child. And I'm just breathless at the fact that she is so elegant right now. She's dressed in Western dress. She lives in a suburb of Johannesburg right now. I'm sure that's why she has the name Johanna, for Johannesburg. Okay. And of course, she went through all of the various political stuff that South Africa has gone through, okay, since the 1700s. And so it's really a great story. And so we'll have more details how she got to be 128 right now. And again, I believe she'll go much longer. When you look at her and see her, you'll see why she is so obviously energetic, and she's a woman. And so she does her hair, she does her clothes and everything like an educated European woman, although she was born in the bush 128 years ago. So that's kind of the beginning of my story. But we have the capacity, human beings have the capacity to live well beyond 200. There's no doubt about it. We have the capacity to do that. And if, you know, all the bad foods and convenient things and things in bottles and boxes and stuff that contain all the bad stuff is important to you, well, then just, you know, this is America, you have your choice, go for it. But wouldn't you rather spend an extra 200 years with your grandkids? Wouldn't you, or great grandkids? Wouldn't you rather spend another 200 years with the people you love, as opposed to, and I always tell people, I'm very conservative. I say, okay, you do what I say, I can give you an extra 25 to 50 years. Okay, she's already exceeded the 50-year mark. Okay, and I did look up what is the life expectancy of the people in South Africa. It's only 57, because the majority of them live in places that don't have veins of nutritional minerals. They just have sand and stuff like that. Okay, and they don't take supplements, and so that's why the life expectancy in South Africa is only 57. Yet they have some of the longest lived people in history in South Africa, but it's not universal. It's in isolated places, okay, because of the veins and minerals and so forth. And also, you want to start thinking about getting a hold of the book. It's all in your head. There's 25 different diseases, okay? There's 25 different diseases that occur when you have osteoporosis of the skull, 25 different diseases. And I'm bringing that up because I did get an award. There you go. It's in your bookstore. I did get an award, an international award from the, let's see here. This is from the United Nations. Okay. Yeah, there you go in the back cover. It's the Lifetime Achievement Award for Natural Medicine from the United Nations. This was in August of 2015. August of 2015. And I just am so proud of this, because when you look at the diseases that people get that are said to be genetic and due to old age and stuff like that, atrial fibrillation, it's not a heart disease, but doctors think it's a heart disease, actually caused by osteoporosis of the skull. Yeah, they're all on the cover of the book. I have to add 2 or 3 more, such as MS, multiple sclerosis. Doctors say it's autoimmune. We said this, I think, last week, okay? But I want to say it again. It freaked me out. And the reason why I got interested in MS, you never hear much about MS, multiple sclerosis. It's just something once in a while it'll pop up in the literature, but it's not something that people talk about every day. Well, the United States government released some financial data on MS, multiple sclerosis. They said each year in America alone, are you sitting down? We spend $85 billion just to treat the symptoms of MS, multiple sclerosis. We spend $85 billion, okay, of your insurance and tax money just to treat the symptoms of MS, multiple sclerosis. So I started looking at that, and it's identical. All the symptoms and all the diseases you get when you have multiple sclerosis are identical to all the diseases you get and all the symptoms you get when you have osteoporosis of the skull. So I'm starting to treat people with who've been diagnosed with MS, multiple sclerosis. I'm treating them like they have osteoporosis of the skull. Well, people with osteoporosis of the skull, I don't care if they've had it for 20 years. In weeks, they're showing improvement. In months, they don't have heart disease anymore, okay? Because it's not heart, AFib is not a heart disease. The skull is squeezing the 10th cranial nerve, the vagus nerve, causing the heart to jump around. COPD is a lung disease, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, same thing. Reflux, bloating, diarrhea, gastroparesis is a stomach. Doctors say, oh, you have an ulcer, or you have one of those things where your intestines are coming up through your diaphragm, one of those kind of things.
Hiatal hernia.
Hiatal hernias, yep, hiatal hernias. And no, okay, you have the pain in your stomach because that 10th cranial nerve is being squeezed. It's called gastroparesis. Hiccups, a branch of that nerve, okay, called the recurrent nerve, innervates the diaphragm. And so when it gets squeezed, you get hiccups. Bell's palsy, the 7th cranial nerve being squeezed, your face droops. Optic nerve atrophy, doctors want to do surgery because the pressure in your eye goes up and you lose your vision. They say, oh, you got cataracts. Well, you really don't have cataracts. You have optic nerve atrophy because the 2nd cranial nerve, the optic nerve, is being squeezed by the skull. Vertigo, okay, this is the vestibular branch of the 8th cranial nerve being squeezed by the skull. Meniere's disease, the same thing. Tinnitus, ringing in the ears, is the auditory branch of the 8th cranial nerve being squeezed. Paget's disease, your skull is 1 inch to 2 inches thick instead of a 1/4 inch thick. Trigeminal neuralgia is the 5th cranial nerve being squeezed. And then spinal cord stuff. Now, how can your skull have anything to do with the spinal cord? Well, the spinal cord is made in the brain, comes out of the back of the skull. And when the skull increases from a 1/4 inch thick, which is normal, to 1 inch to 2 inches thick, that hole that the 12 pairs of cranial nerves are going through, the hole that the spinal cord is going through, loses 75% of its internal diameter and puts pressure on these nerves in the spinal cord. And so spinal cord paralysis and all kinds of spinal cord things, peripheral neuropathies, and waking up at night to urinate 6, 8, 10 times a night because the spinal cord is being squeezed by your skull. When you lay down, you put your head on the pillow and you put a lot of pressure on the spinal cord, kind of thing. This is all reversible. This is all reversible and certainly preventable. And so this is, I'm hitting that area really hard because you can imagine $85 billion is spent just to treat the symptoms. It is the, which I say, is the bankroll of the medical profession is MS, multiple sclerosis. They didn't even know that there was osteoporosis of the skull. I had to teach them that one. Okay, so now we're going to get back to kids, because if we get kids going right, they will never have to deal with these problems. And so it's back to you, Rebecca.
Well, Dr. Wallach, is it okay if I show one page in your book just
Oh,
to
sure.
show? I mean, look at this, folks. He makes it so easy to understand with the visuals. And the book isn't very thick. But
It's only 27 pages, I think.
yeah, the information that's in here is so valuable, so easy to understand, and it just makes sense. It just makes sense. I suffered from so many of those things, and when I found you, Dr. Wallach, was probably one of the best days of my life.
Well, see, but you're a young woman. You're not 85 years old, okay? And so why would you be suffering from something?
35 years to get there, though.
So why would somebody, a young woman like yourself, why would you have all these old age diseases? Okay, well, it's not an aging thing. It's a nutritional deficiency. And you get a nutritional deficiency when you're an embryo. Okay.
That's it. And my issues started before I was even hitting the double digits.
There you go.
So, folks, early nutrition is so important. And when we're talking about early nutrition, we're not just talking about from the day that they take their first breath of oxygen. Let's go beyond that, before that, rather.
Yeah, at least a year before conception.
At least. And making sure that, well, children, Dr. Wallach, let's just start children right now.
Okay.
There is no better day to start a nutritional program than right this moment. And this is part of what this program is about, is to be able to provide information to help you figure out, okay, what really does the body need? How do we know that the body needs that? And what's the science to back it? And I don't think there's anyone else in this world that has more research into this very topic. And yes, epigenetics.
There you go.
So, Dr. Wallach, so many people tell me, well, my mother has this condition, my grandmother has this condition, hers, it just runs in our family. And
it's because everybody was taught to eat the same way, generation after generation.
Generation after generation, we have those foods, those comfort foods that are coming all from the same area, because, well, nowadays people move around a little bit more. But for the most part, because of our farming practices, that doesn't even matter. The food is null and void of nutrition. And that is why Ask Doc Live has been put together as a resource to you to provide information that will help you take control of your life, be the authority of your own health. And we are sponsored by the website AskDocLive.com.
And if they do that, Rebecca, if they follow those guidelines, they will outlive their doctor.
Hey, let's outlive our doctor. Let's outlive our mother, our grandmother, our great-grandmother. But most importantly, Dr. Wallach, let's outlive them enjoying life and surviving, not just
you get an A+.
Not just surviving, but thriving.
You get an A+.
So that is my goal. Thank you. I love A+. I was a good student in school, so I'm continuing to be a good student, learning from you, one of my favorite doctors in the world.
Well, we make a good team.
Well, yes, we do. And we've got some great projects on the horizon coming to you that includes a CD that is going to be included with the
That's
purchase
correct.
of these books in the near future. So we encourage all of you to watch for that. For those of you who are joining us, if you have been invited by somebody specific, make sure that you get back with them and tell them, thank you for sharing this information with me. And let them know what you heard that you liked best about it. And if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask them your questions, because they will have resources that'll help you get those answers. Now, if you have never spoken to anybody about any of the information that we are sharing here, and you found this program on your own, or you're part of the Critical Health News subscriber base, and you received an invitation to join us on this program, you can either respond to that email to get information, or you can go to our website, askdoclive.com. We do have many of Dr. Wallach's most popular books there. We also have a contact us. If you have questions in regards to what's going to be best for you to get started to meet your health goals, you can use that contact us option. We also have a store there, but remember that store is for anyone who has not spoken to somebody already about anything that you will be hearing on this program today. And for those of you who would like to speak to somebody, we do have a call team that is standing by at 855-949-7234. Dr. Wallach, let's go ahead and get started with our first hand that is up. And just a reminder for everybody that is on with us right now live, go to that Zoom menu, click on participants, and you'll find a way to raise your hand there, or you can click on reactions, depending on what platform you are using. And under reactions, you will find the option to raise hand. We have many hands up already, and let's first go to Wilma. Wilma, go ahead and unmute yourself. Thank you for having your camera on. You are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Great.
Hello, Wilma.
Hello, Dr. Wallach.
Where are you from?
From Amsterdam, Holland.
Okay. Kan je Afrikaans praten?
Ja, wel verstaan.
Because the Dutch, of course, were the European people in South Africa when I was there. Okay, so I learned how to speak Dutch also.
Great. Then we'll have no problems communicating.
Okay, and how old are you and what do you weigh?
64.
Okay, and your body weight?
About 50 kilos.
Okay, it's about 110 pounds.
Mhm.
Okay, okay, so how can we help you?
I have a lot of allergies, food allergies. I think you might know the beach syndrome that from the tree, that has all kinds of cross allergies. You know what I mean? Or
Okay, so give me some details here. Just it's like saying I have a fever. What does that mean? Okay, so you have allergies. What specific things are going on? Do you have respiratory problems? Do you have skin itching? Do you have constipation?
Intestines mostly. Intestines
Okay.
and painful bladder syndrome.
Okay, bladder syndrome. Is this gallbladder for the liver, or are we talking about urinary bladder?
Urinary bladder.
Okay, how many times you wake up at night to go urinate?
Varies a lot, but it can be more than 10 times.
Okay, okay, so what, 6 to 10 times? 6 to 10 times a night, get up to urinate? Okay. Now, let me ask you another question. Let's see here. Do you have any ringing in your ears, any tinnitus or ringing in your ears?
No.
Okay. Do you have any vertigo or balance problems?
No.
Do you have a white granullar hair? Are you coloring your hair?
I'm coloring my hair, yeah.
Okay. All right. And when you have your intestinal problem, have you ever been diagnosed with irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, or celiac disease, or Crohn's disease? All the above?
IBS, yes.
IBS, okay. Okay, I already know your problem. You have a gluten problem. Okay.
I don't eat gluten for years already.
Okay, but you can get cross-contaminated on the food preparation surfaces in the laundry if you have people in your family or your roommate or whatever, or your dog and cat that's eating gluten, and you wash their clothes in the same washer and dryer, not in the same batch, but you wash your clothes and they wash their clothes and you wash your clothes, and you get cross-contaminated from the environment. Okay, so you have to watch that.
But I will live alone, so I do not have much contamination.
Okay, okay. Do you work in a bakery?
No.
Okay, good. All right, because yeah, and there are no such things as gluten-free oats. You cannot have wheat, butter, rye, or oats. You cannot have wheat, butter, rye, and oats. You cannot have oatmeal for breakfast. There are no such things as gluten-free oats. The gluten in oats is called gliadin, but it's still gluten. Okay, you can have, I want you to eat like an Asian. I want you to eat like an Asian. Eat rice and sweet potatoes and beans and squash and that kind of stuff, seaweed. Okay, eat like an Asian. And you can have fish, but you can't have fried fish. None of the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no salami, bologna, pepperoni, jerky, corned beef, spam, bacon, ham, all that's got to go. And then at 110 pounds, I want you to get one healthy brain and heart pack per month. One healthy brain and heart pack per month. Take a half a dose of everything twice a day. I want you to get another bottle of our selenium, not selenium from Walmart, okay, or Walgreens. I want you to get our selenium because it has 5 cofactors in there. And one of those cofactors are missing when you have white grand silver hair. They also contribute to your irritable bowel syndrome, okay? When you have a deficiency of that nutrient. People always say, well, which one is it? Which one is it? Well, if I told you, you'd run to the store and buy that one nutrient, and then 3 months later, you'll be dead because you're just taking one nutrient instead of all 90, okay? I know how people think. Okay, so I stopped telling people which one it is, but if you get the books, Epigenetics, you get the book, Rare Earths Vin Cures, you'll learn, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, Let's Play Doctor, you'll learn all that, okay? And so, but then you'll be learning it as a complete picture as opposed to just one little piece. And so I do want you to call us every 2 weeks because you're going to reduce your urination from 6 to 10 times a day very quickly. And you're one of 1,000 people I meet every month who get up 6 to 8 to 10 times a night to urinate because the skull is squeezing the spinal cord, and the spinal cord controls the urinary bladder. When you lay down, you put your head on a pillow, you crunch that spinal cord more, and so every half hour, every hour, you got to get up and urinate because you're squeezing that spinal cord, which is then telling the urinary bladder to urinate, to contract. Okay, that's fixable. That's fixable.
But during the day, I can even go more often to the toilet per hour.
Okay.
So to say.
Okay.
So how's that connection then?
Okay, it's the same thing. Okay, so do you have any dental implants or dentures, or do you have your own teeth?
No, I have implants.
Yeah, see, that's your jaw is part of your skull. So when you have osteoporosis of the skull, your bones in your jaw and your upper arcade in your face, those bones shrink. And so there's a big hole instead of a little hole where the teeth are. So the teeth start getting wibbly. Did you have go to an orthodontist as a teenager and have braces as a teenager?
I had them, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, see, you're starting to get you were getting osteoporosis of the skull as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you went through all that. Okay. Did the dentist tell you that you had osteoporosis of the skull? Of course not. Why would he tell you that? Because then he wouldn't have any patients. Okay. So I want you to call us every couple of weeks. Okay. We got through the one healthy brain and heart pack, the extra bottle of selenium, our selenium with the 5 cofactors. So you can take 3 of those twice a day. There's 1 bottle of selenium with the healthy brain and heart pack. I want you to get our MSM. I get 1 bottle of MSM, so you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. That'll help you rebuild cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, discs between the vertebrae, bone matrix, very important here. And as you're rebuilding your bone in your skull, those tunnels that your 12 pairs of cranial nerves go through and your spinal cord goes through, they'll get bigger again. The hole will get bigger and take the pressure off. You'll notice a huge difference very quickly. Within 2 to 6 weeks, you're going to notice a huge positive difference. Okay. Then you also need our collagen peptides. Take a scoop of that in your morning drink. Take a scoop of that in your evening drink. Collagen peptides. It's actually collagen from fish, poultry, sheep, and beef. And then I also want you to take our vitamin D3. Take 3 of those twice a day. And are you calling from Holland or are you calling from Denver, Colorado? Where are you calling from?
From Holland.
From Holland, okay. Okay, and so let's get this done. And you are going to really see improvement very quickly. But you got to get rid of all the bad stuff. Again, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, butter, rhinos, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet ones got to go because the carbonation in the diet drinks neutralizes your stomach acid, so you cannot absorb minerals and you cannot digest food without your stomach acid. Okay.
Understand.
Okay. Okay. All is fundi besta.
Sorry.
All is fundi besta. All of the best.
Thank you. You know, you mentioned a lot of things. I don't know if the healthy brain package.
Okay. So basically, it's all recorded, and they're going. So instead of, I can talk to 4 more people here. And
yeah,
so okay, so you can, it's recorded and it'll be up to where you can call again and see it this afternoon. Okay. And it'll be there next week. It'll be there next year. It'll be there 10 years from now. Okay.
Okay.
And
I'll
please
be
call us.
you
know, please call us every day if you want to. Okay. Wilma, you're going to have a great story. You're going to help a lot of people with your story. God bless.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Wilma.
Bye-bye.
And yes, for everybody, you can go to askdoclive.com and you will find all of our replays from our past episodes since we started this almost 2 whole years ago, Dr. Wallach.
Wow.
But most importantly, make sure that you get back with the person that invited you to watch this program if you would like to get some of the products that Dr. Wallach mentioned. So he does go through the protocols quite quickly, but we want to make sure that we get to as many people as possible because there's so many people hurting around the world. And I love the fact, Dr. Wallach, that this program does reach around the world. I love it.
Well, I'm very proud of you.
Well,
thank you so much. You and your team are just great.
We have an amazing team. I appreciate them and Jonty and all he does with the newsletter and the websites. He is just an incredible resource and I'm very proud to be part of his team. Dr. Wallach, let's go to the next hand that is up. And that is Mary. Mary, if you can unmute yourself, welcome to Ask Doc Live.
Hello, Mary.
Yourself, Mary.
Uh-oh.
She's working on it. There
Okay.
you go.
Hello, doctor. And you guys do such a good job. My sister listens to you regularly. I've been watching her go through the regimen, I call it. And, you know, it's so difficult because I've been a salad eater all my life. And I just love my vinegar and oil or garlic and vinegar and oil.
That's what lemon juice is for.
Okay, and but the oil, I mean, if you made a salad dressing that was avocado, because sometimes the avocados aren't ripe, I think we can eat avocado, right, in our salads, because that takes that more lubricant feeling to the salad, coats it a little better, because we're big salad eaters. I've always been a salad eater, and to not put oil on my salad is almost
okay. Well, you're giving
impossible.
You're giving up half your life by eating oil. Okay, you use what I do in my salads. I use gluten-free yogurt. Okay, I use gluten-free yogurt on my salads, kind of like a creamy dressing. And so that's what I use in my salads. And sometimes I just put lemon juice on with salt with our salt, which has 78 minerals in it. Okay, our pink Himalayan salt. I think you'll like the pink Himalayan salt. It's really quite good.
Okay.
Has 78 minerals in it. It's actually pink.
I like Himalayan salt. Can I
Yep.
tell you what happened to me with this health thing?
Okay, please.
Doctor? Yes, thank you. I think it all happened around COVID. I probably before I've been very, I just thought it was an age thing. I'm in my 60s and always been very athletic. I mean, not athletic, but very active. Walked my dog, garden. I still try to do that. Yeah, I had this problem with dry mouth. Actually, I'm so nervous talking. I'm getting dry mouth right now.
Okay, stop. Do you have any ringing in your ears? Any tinnitus or ringing in your ears?
No.
Do you have any balance problems or vertigo or dizziness?
Yes, I've had dizziness. That's why I had to go to the urgency one day. I felt very faint. And I had to go to the urgency and they did a whole bunch of stuff on me.
Okay, when what did they tell you?
Well, they took an x-ray, which I don't believe in x-rays, but eventually I'll have to go back to a dentist. But they wanted an x-ray from my chest, just my chest. Everything was okay. They wanted to see if I had walking pneumonia.
Well, they screwed up. Okay, they screwed up. Okay, because they should have taken an x-ray of your skull. Okay, you have osteoporosis of the skull. And the dry mouth is caused by your skull squeezing the ninth cranial nerve, the glossopharyngeal nerve, which has to do with your salivary glands, your tongue, and your throat, and all that kind of stuff. Do you ever have to clear your throat kind of thing?
Well, everything has lodged. After the antibiotic, they gave me intravenous antibiotic, and that freaked me out. And then I had to be on antibiotics for 10 days. I quit at 4 days. I was having such a headache and my dry mouth was out of orbit, it was so bad.
Okay, I want you to listen to me.
Okay.
You have osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the ninth cranial nerve. And when you get that book, it's all in your head, okay? Rebecca showed you that page in there that lists and shows you pictures of the location in your brain of all the various spinal nerves, or not spinal, but cranial nerves, okay? And so you want to get that book. It's all in your head.
Book.
Oh, okay, good.
I got the book.
Okay, well, look up the ninth cranial nerve, okay? The ninth cranial nerve, the glossopharyngeal nerve, and you'll see it causes dry mouth, clearing of the throat, accumulation of mucus in your throat, and swallowing problem. Your voice can change. All kinds of stuff goes on because the ninth cranial nerve is being squeezed, okay? And so this will go away very quickly. In 2 to 6 weeks, it'll go away. If you be a good girl and stay away from all the bad stuff, and anything with oil in it, you got to stay away from. And you have a choice. You want to die early and eat avocado, or you want to live an extra 25 years and not eat avocado. That's your choice. You've been told now, so you can't say you didn't know.
Was that bad for me to get off the antibiotic? I just said after 4 days, I said, I can't do this. As soon as I got off the antibiotic, my dry mouth I started getting saliva much better in my mouth, but
you've answered your own question.
Was it okay to do that?
Yes.
Get off the antibiotic?
Yeah, you answered your own question because your dry mouth got better. See, because your doctors think, oh, they have strep throat. No, they have the osteoporosis of the skull squeezing the ninth cranial nerve, and they have no idea. They don't get taught osteoporosis. They think you get osteoporosis of your right knee, and they want to replace your right knee, but they don't realize when you have osteoporosis of your right knee, you got osteoporosis in every joint in your body and every bone in your body, including your skull. And to think that you only have osteoporosis in your right knee, they need to have their licenses taken away and put in jail for the rest of their life. Okay.
It has lodged in my bronchial now, in my bronchial. I have a chronic cough. I mean, I'm not coughing continually, but when I'm a hacking cough now.
Yeah, we call that COPD. Okay, that has to do with squeezing of the 10th cranial nerve of the skull. Yeah, you got it. Classic. Okay, so you know what to do now. Call us every couple of weeks. You're going to have a great story.
Okay, I'll get back with you, doctor. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Mary. All right, Dr. Wallach, I have a question coming in from London. And this is in regards to his mother. She is 70 years old, 5 foot 3 inches, 121 pounds. She has vertigo, losing balance without any warning suddenly, memory issues, difficulties to express her ideas sometimes, has had tinnitus for the last 10 years, loss of hearing about 15% in both ears, removed gallbladder about 30 years ago, and was originally suspected for asthma and Chopin disease, which I'm not sure
Sjogren's?
what that is. But asthma has been dropped recently, and Chopin remained in place as an explanation for her shortness of breath. So, and she's on a couple different pharmaceuticals, but what would you recommend for Rad's mom?
Well, this crew, your crew, Rebecca, knows the answer to this one, right? Everything
Yes.
she's got is due to osteoporosis of the skull. Okay, and you need to buy your mom the book. It's all in your head. It's easy reading. There's only 27 pages. Okay, and it's very, very easy reading. There's only like a paragraph or two on each nerve because it's very direct. You squeeze the nerve, this is the disease you get. This you squeeze this nerve. The big one is the 10th cranial nerve, the vagus nerve. You get COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. You get asthma. You get hiccups. You get atrial fibrillation, tachycardia. You get gastroparesis, pain in your stomach. They want to put a tube down your throat thinking you got gastric ulcers, or maybe you got the intestines coming up through your diaphragm. Okay, again, to give you that deal. And so it's all just squeezing the 10th cranial nerve. And there's about 5 or 6 major diseases you get the doctors want to do surgery for, when really all you have to do is change the diet. And your skull goes from being an inch or two thick down to a quarter of an inch thick. And you reverse all those symptoms and diseases very quickly. Your body wants to heal itself, but you got to do the right thing. So I hope that helps.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Wallach.
Oh, one other thing. Let's see,
Go ahead.
did she have her gallbladder removed?
Yes, gallbladder's
okay.
been removed.
Okay, then she needs the ultimate enzymes, which we call the gallbladder in a bottle. It does actually have bile in it, which we collect from the slaughterhouse, from the bowel, from the gallbladder from cattle that are killed for beef. And so she wants to take 1 or 2 of those, say 5 to 10 minutes for each meal with a couple ounces of water. And the ultimate enzymes will replace the gallbladder. Why did God give us a gallbladder? So the doctors could make money to put their kids through college by removing your gallbladder? No, your gallbladder has a purpose to absorb essential fatty acids, to absorb fat soluble vitamins. You require the gallbladder to pull all that off. So you better have your mom be taking the ultimate enzymes, which we call the gallbladder in a bottle. 1 or 2 of those, say 5 to 10 minutes for each meal with a couple ounces of water. She'll be a new woman.
Well, and it's amazing, Dr. Wallach, as we're going through and we're speaking with people, that this is not just an old age condition. More and more people, younger and younger, are experiencing all of these symptoms.
Now, let me
These
tell you,
red
Rebecca,
warning lights.
Rebecca, babies are born with osteoporosis of the skull. It's called Erb's palsy. Okay, doctors can mistake it for cerebral palsy because they're paralyzed from the neck down when they're born, because the skull is squeezing the spinal cord in the newborn baby. Okay, it's called Erb's palsy. Look it up. Ask Siri, what is Erb's palsy? Okay, and so age has nothing to do with it. You get osteoporosis of the skull when you're an embryo, and that's the scary part here. Okay, and so I think you get an A+ again, dear.
Well, and Dr. Wallach, I love the fact that we can ask Siri what different things are. But the most important thing is getting the correct information on what you can do as an empowered individual, because the medical community does not want you to be empowered. They want you to be dependent upon them and chemical responses.
They don't have a clue. They have no clue. They are not taught about osteoporosis of the skull in school.
No. And I work with quite a few doctors where they said that nutrition was maybe 1 or 2 hours, and it wasn't something that had any type of real, emphasis put on it as being important. So they didn't pay that much attention to
Yeah,
it.
just eat well, you get everything you need, is what they tell them.
Well, eating well, according to what the FDA said was eating well, got me sicker and sicker. So I kind of lost my faith, unfortunately, in some recommendations. And I'm just very thankful, Dr. Wallach, that I found you. Now,
Well,
right
you get
now
an
we
A
have,
plus.
well, thank you very much. I will accept. I accept.
Okay.
We have so many people, Dr. Wallach, that are very concerned about what to feed babies and children that
Mhm.
are dependent on formula. And Dr. Judy said it before we all started. People have forgotten how to feed babies. We did not always have formula, folks. Dr. Wallach, what is your answer to making sure that our infants and children get the information that is needed to have nutrition early in life? And if you could turn that bottle around so you're looking at the back ingredients, that will let us be able to see what that is. And that is Kids Toddy, folks. Kids
Kids
Toddy
Toddy.
is a multivitamin, multi-mineral complex that has been formulated just for children.
Mhm.
And it's
It
not
tastes
a
good.
one dose fits all. It tastes
Yeah,
good.
it tastes good. Tastes like lemonade and orange juice, and kids love it. And so for babies, excuse me, basically what you need to do is get some goat's milk, which you can get from any health food store. Goat's milk, cow's milk, llama milk, that kind of stuff. Whale milk if you can get it. Any mammal milk, okay, and wombat milk, kangaroo milk, okay. And then there's a chart on the back label of the Kids Toddy. It tells you per pound of body weight how much of the Kids Toddy to give the kid, okay, per meal. And so what you want to do is follow that, not only for the Kids Toddy, but also for the Cherry Mins. And then every kid, newborn, I'd give them at least one a day of the EFA soft gel capsules. That obviously they're not gonna be able to swallow. So you puncture the capsule, don't puncture the kid, you puncture the capsule with a needle or a pointy scissors and squirt it into the kid's toddy. And that'll prevent asthma. Why do kids get asthma when they're 2-3 months old? That's because they're missing a nutrient. Asthma is not something that just happens because they have a bad gene, okay? It's actually a nutritional deficiency. And so even when they get the formulas, if they're getting gluten, okay, if they're getting, like a teaspoon of oatmeal for breakfast with grandma, and everybody wants to get the baby going, and they may mouth it a little bit and spit it out, but they're still getting the gluten, okay, when they're getting oatmeal, when they're a newborn baby, or when they're 6 months old or 3 months old. And so it's imperative that we stay away from the bad stuff and give them all the good things. And that's why we came out with this a couple of years ago. And you've heard me say this before, when women are breastfeeding, especially if the mother's eating gluten, she may be taking supplements, but she's not absorbing much. And so it's not coming through the breast milk. And so the mother needs to be giving one meal a day, one of these meals that you create out of goat's milk or llama milk or cow's milk, and you throw in the Kids Toddy, the EFAs, and the Cherry Mins. And that's going to help the kid if it ever needs to, for some reason or another, the mother gets sick or, is not doing well on breast milk because she's eating gluten and not absorbing the nutrients. The baby can slide over because it's already been taken, the Kids Toddy, for a couple of months. So it's not a big deal.
So making sure that nutrition is getting in is the most important part.
Absolutely.
And
Rebecca, may I ask, Doc, what
Go ahead,
about babies that are newborns or less than a year old? They get told not to give animal milks.
Well, yeah, because they own stock in the kids' formula companies. Okay, there's more kids in the world being fed goat's milk and cow's milk and llama milk than there are being fed these formulas. We're a small percentage of the world population. Okay, and so you think about all these third world countries. You think they're feeding them Infamil and Similac, they'll shoot you with a bow and arrow. If you, what's Similac? Okay. I'm not going to give my baby something called Similac. Okay.
Thank you, Doc.
Okay. And so the reason why they say that kind of stuff is to protect their market. You don't like to think that, but that's what it is. They're protecting their market. Oh, the first thing, you know, they get it put through the state legislature, the US government. Oh, you have to see your doctor. You have to see your doctor. Okay. And so, you know, what can I say? They've done a very good job of protecting themselves. But when it comes to the patient, $85 billion a year to pay for just treating the symptoms of MS, which doctors say is an autoimmune disease, the body's attacking itself. And the absolute truth is no, it's just a simple nutritional deficiencies. And I think it's just a variation of osteoporosis of the skull. When you look at the list of symptoms, you look at the list of diseases that occur in osteoporosis of the skull, and you look at the list of symptoms and the diseases that occur in MS, there's a little bit more demyelination in the brain in MS. And they think that's the cause of everything that's going on in the body when you have MS. No. And I've had people ask me, well, how does osteoporosis of the skull affect the legs? Well, it's squeezing the spinal cord and you get peripheral neuropathies. Okay, you get pain and numbness and all kinds of weird things in your legs because the skull is squeezing the spinal cord way up there. Well, how come you have stuff going on in your legs when you have MS? Because your skull is squeezing the spinal cord. Same thing. Okay, and so once I saw all that, it's too obvious that all the symptoms and diseases of osteoporosis of the skull and of the MS multiple sclerosis are the same, and that's why Rebecca and I are working on a CD to add to the back of the book. It's All in Your Head, because that CD is going to be the next chapter in the book. It's All in Your Head. Okay, because it covers MS very, very clearly. And so we're looking for lots of patients with MS who want to give our thing a try because they've been dealing with it for years and slowly getting worse. As you have nothing to lose by giving us a try for 2 months.
That's right. Nothing to lose. And folks, you are watching AskDoc Live. And it's sponsored by AskDocLive.com. We invite you to go to AskDocLive.com and you can get a copy of Dr. Wallach's 10 Good Foods, Bad Foods. If you have already received that and you'd like to continue onto the website and you're using a mobile device, there's a little X in the corner of that window that pops up that allows you to put your email in to receive the Good Foods, Bad Foods list. Just click that X. It'll allow you to continue on to the website and to the store on AskDocLive.com. But most importantly, get back with the person that invited you to this program, as they may have their very own way to order the products. Dr. Wallach, let's go to the next hand that is up. And Alyssa, go ahead and unmute yourself. And if you are able to come on camera, that would be fabulous as well. Alyssa?
Okay,
you're
let's take a
on
break.
Hi,
Let's take a break
here.
after this one.
Oh, it's 9 o'clock. I'm so sorry. Do you want to take a break now or right after?
No, let's right after this one.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Hi.
Alyssa, go ahead.
Hi.
How can we help you?
I have some medical issues. I have fibromyalgia, they say, and rheumatoid arthritis, diabetes, and I have I need double knee replacement, and I have 2 herniated
Okay, stop.
discs.
Stop. Stop. Did you say you had double knee replacement, or they want to do double knee
They
replacement?
want to do double knee replacement.
Okay, so you have some arthritis, and okay.
Mhm.
Do you have any ringing in your ears or balance problems?
I have ringing in my ear.
Okay, any balance problems?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And how much do you weigh?
320 pounds,
Okay, how tall are you?
5'2".
5'2"?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and how old are you?
57.
57, okay. Do you have any other issues? Do you have any skin problems, any eczema, dermatitis, or psoriasis?
I've recently developed, I'm having this itching. I don't know if it may be some
Okay,
medication that I'm taking. I don't know.
okay.
I have
And then,
like seasonal allergies and stuff, so
sure.
I don't know.
Okay,
Yeah, but
okay, let me go on here. Do you have any bowel problems, irritable bowel syndrome, constipation,
yes,
diarrhea? Okay,
irritable IBS.
okay, okay. You have raging osteoporosis of the skull. You have a gluten problem. Okay. Two things you need to do. Number one, get rid of the gluten out of your life. Everybody in your household, dog, cat, bird, fish, spouse, roommates, caregiver, everybody's got to be drop dead gluten free so you don't get cross contaminated in the food preparation surfaces, the beds, the couches, the rugs. Okay. No gluten, no wheat, no barley, rye, oats. There are no such things as gluten free oats. That's a lie. Anybody who says they're selling gluten free oats should be put in jail. Okay. Then you need to take, at 320 pounds, you need to take 3 healthy brain and heart packs per month. That's usually out of the financial range of most people. So don't take any less than 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, though. But ideally, you would take 3. If you can take 3, take a dose of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you can only take 2, take a dose of breakfast, take a dose of dinner. I want you to get 2 bottles a month of our MSM. So you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. They will support and promote maintenance, repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between a vertebrae, bone makes bone itself. I want you to get our, let's see here, our collagen peptides. Get the large canister so you can take a scoop of that with your morning drink and a scoop of that with your evening drink. I want you to get 3 bottles a month of our vitamin D3. They're tiny little bottles. So you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time, so you can absorb these minerals and put them in the right place. I also want you to take 1 meal a day, our keto shake. Okay, comes in strawberry chocolate. This is not an add-on. This is a meal replacer. The keto shake is a meal replacer. You can have 2 or 3 of our rebounder sports drink with that same meal. You know, take an hour to eat or a half hour to eat. And the rebounder sports drink has 75 minerals in it and 25 vitamins, amino acids in it. It's not like Red Bull, which is sugar and caffeine. Okay, ours is a nutrition drink. And let's see here. Oh, the diabetes, you said. I want you to get, I'd go start out with 3 bottles a month of a sweetie. So you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. Yeah, I'm sure you're on medication for diabetes. Do not cold turkey off of it. But as your blood sugar levels drop, okay, you can slowly reduce the medication based on the numbers. So it should take you about 6 to 9 weeks to be able to wean off of your blood pressure, your diabetes medication. Do you have any blood pressure issues?
Yes.
Okay. And I also want you to take 3 bottles a month of our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, And they're designed to support healthy blood pressure and healthy blood flow through blocked arteries in your brain, your heart, your kidneys. So I want you to take 3 of those with each meal. That's 3 bottles a month. And again, don't cold turkey off your medication, but as your blood pressure begins to come down, you can slowly reduce the medication based on the numbers. All right. And then again, we talked about none of the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, barley, rye, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. And I'm trying to think here. You're going to notice an improvement like very quickly. Oh, and you're going to lose about a half a pound to 2 pounds a day if you do that 1 meal a day of the keto shake. You'll lose a half a pound to 2 pounds a day, which, you know, you look at a month, you can lose anywhere from 40 to 60 pounds in just a month if you do what I say. Okay. And so your life is going to get much better. And I do want you to call us every week or every couple of weeks, no longer than every couple of weeks, but you can call us every week. And because people are going to say, whatever happened to that girl, okay, with all those problems, okay, okay. So you're going to have a great story. Your story is going to help a lot of people. And I deal with people all over the world by the thousands every week who are 300 pounds, 400 pounds, 500 pounds, 600 pounds. So you're not alone. What you have is a problem. And of course, I'm going to rebuild your knees. So you won't need the double knee replacement and put that off for 3 months because that ain't going to happen. Okay. Okay. And the doctor is going to be very upset with you, but that's okay. All right, so give us a call every
Yeah.
couple of weeks because you're going to have a great story. And of course, this is recorded. And so, as Rebecca says, this gets posted right away. So you'll be able to check it out this afternoon and every day from now on. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Well, God bless you. And we look forward to hearing from you because you are going to have a great story.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Elisa. And everybody, we are going to take a quick break here on Ask Doc Live, sponsored by AskDocLive.com. Get up, stretch, get you some nutrition, get some minerals in your water. I like my minerals and I like my collagen in my tea. So enjoy. You do not have to take all the enjoyable things away in life. You replace them with things that are even healthier. We will be right back on Ask Doc Live. And we are back with Ask Doc Live. My name is Rebecca Dukes-Kozak, the host of AskDocLive.com. And I just want to remind you that if somebody specifically invited you to this program, get back with them. Tell them thank you and how much you appreciate that the information that you heard on this program, whether you're here live or whether you're watching the replay, the information holds true. It's not something that's timeless, that's going to be expired or have new renditions next year. Dr. Wallach has been sharing this information for almost 30, 50 years, folks, taking his research that started way back from even when he was a child, when he was able to figure out, hey, the animals that I'm feeding every day, they don't have the issues that I have. So he started eating the food that he was feeding them, and some of his his biggest challenges went away. And it all came from what he was putting in his mouth, folks. Epigenetics is the science that proves that the genetic theory is incorrect. Yes, our genes are expressed in different ways, but when it comes to genetics, Dr. Wallach will be the first to tell you that genetics have to do with your eye color, your hair color, your skin color, different formations, way your face is structured, but not disease. So Dr. Wallach, go ahead and unmute yourself and welcome back to Ask Doc Live.
I'm back.
You are back, and I am so glad you made it back each and every Friday on Ask Doc Live.
We've got 600 years together, dear.
We're gonna have so many years together. I'm looking forward to it. But the thing I love about it most, which 7 years I could not say, I look forward to getting old. Think about it. I look forward to getting old. How many people can say that? 7 years ago, I did not. And it all changed when I added the nutrition to my diet. Through adding nutrition, Dr. Wallach, because when our body is starving of nutrition, it's going to hold on to that fat. It's going to hold on to everything that it gets. And when it's getting what it needs, it releases all that stuff we don't need.
Well, let me ask you one question, Rebecca.
Yes.
What happens to your car when you don't give it oil?
All of those red lights start coming on and it doesn't accelerate and it starts breaking down and it smokes. Yeah.
It costs you money.
A lot of money as a response to not taking care of it. So yeah, I mean, I'm so thankful I started investing in myself.
You get an A+.
Yeah, I had 1 year of $35,000 in medical bills.
Oh my gosh.
And the next year, Dr. Wallach, I started on your program, and all of those
Has your
conditions
doctor
that I
committed
was
suicide
dealing
yet?
No, because you're my doctor now.
Okay. No, I mean, the guy who is milking your insurance policy for $35,000. Okay. Now, what's he going to do for a living?
Well, that's his problem to worry about because my problems are no longer. That's
Okay.
where I'm going to put that. So
Okay.
let's move on, Dr. Wallach. Let's go to the next hand that is
Okay.
up. And I believe you pronounce the name Aloni or Alani. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello, how are you?
You are on live with Dr. Wallach. Are you able to turn your camera on?
I would prefer to keep it off if that's okay.
Okay.
That's
Are
perfectly
you
fine.
in Hawaii?
No, I am not. I'm actually in Arizona.
Okay. All right. How can we help you?
Hi there. I am 30 years old. I am 5'3" and about 108 pounds. I called in today because I have a history of, I'm currently pregnant, but I also have a history of a high-risk pregnancy. When I was 21, I gave birth to my first son, but until a month and a half before I actually gave birth, all my pregnancy tests were coming back negative. I am experiencing very similar symptoms to what I experienced almost now 9 years ago, but no doctor in Arizona is legally able to help me because my pregnancy tests are coming back negative.
Okay, I'll stop there for a minute.
Yes, sir.
You had a son that was born. He's how old now?
He will be 9 on the 28th of this month.
Okay. Does he have any health problems?
The only health problem that he has is he has a bone that did not completely fuse at birth. And I actually experienced vertigo and balance issues, dizziness when I was pregnant. So, yeah.
You had osteoporosis of the skull.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Did you have tinnitus or ringing in the ears?
Yes, I was diagnosed that while I was pregnant 9 years ago.
Okay. And so that's why they can't figure things out because they're not realizing you have osteoporosis of the skull, which means you have osteoporosis everywhere. Okay. And that's why your pregnancy tests are coming out weird.
Awesome.
I mean, they can take a scan. They don't have to have just a urinary or blood pregnancy test. They can take a scan and see that you're pregnant. What school do these guys go to?
I'm being told that by Arizona law, they are unable to do that without a confirmed pregnancy test.
Well, I'd go to New Mexico or Utah or something.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so how can I help you now?
I was actually shown the link to be able to purchase the book It's All in Your Head. So I'll be purchasing that today. I've been doing a lot of research, and a lot of the things that you're saying on this call, they directly relate to those. So, and I'm an analyst that's my career. So I appreciate your time. Really, by the time I got on the call, I was like, he's going to tell me the same thing he's been telling everyone else. Like, I already knew this from the first 2 minutes on the call. So I do appreciate you. I don't think there's anything else I have for you.
Okay, how far along in pregnancy do you think you are?
Somewhere between 2 to 3 months.
Okay, have you been taking prenatal vitamins and minerals or our products or anything like that?
Yes, I have. And I'm not
Okay, good.
experiencing the symptoms I was experiencing during my last pregnancy, but the tests still haven't been coming back positive. But from hearing the things that you're saying for foods to avoid, I have not been avoiding those foods. So I'll be needing that. And then I'll be getting your book, and then also the one that speaks of the cookbook on how to cook with the foods that you're recommending.
Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods.
That is correct. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, good. So you're going to have a great story, and we'll just keep our fingers crossed that there's nothing going on. And so the baby that's 9 years old now, we don't have any problems, no obvious nutritional problems, no obvious birth defects or anything like that.
He has a bone, his clavicle bone didn't completely fuse, but a lot of the foods that you're saying to eliminate, we've eliminated a lot of those over the years. So we've been seeing a lot of improvement with him, but
okay, good. But
adding these extra things are definitely gonna help.
He didn't have a heart defect or cleft palate or anything like that. No spina bifida, no Down syndrome.
No, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, so yeah, keep in touch because you are going to have a great story here. And of course, this kid who's 9 years old, he needs to be on these nutrients himself,
Right.
and get off all the bad foods and teach him to stay away from the bad foods. And we have so many young athletes who use our products. And as a result, they do very well in sports and so forth. And they do very well in class also, because when you're taking these nutrients, it's good for the brain also. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So keep in touch. Okay.
Thank you kindly.
Okay, Alani. Aloha.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Alani. All right, Dr. Wallach. Melanie has a question in regards to, and I think I'm pronouncing it right, is it ataxia? Where she-
Ataxia is a
she
balance
can't-
problems.
Yeah, and she can't talk or walk very well. She does mention that it's a movement disorder. MRIs have found nothing. Yeah, I don't have
How old
any
is she?
additional information.
We don't have any
Um,
idea how old she is, or
No, I do not. And I'm
Okay.
looking to see if
well,
she's
she
put-
has osteoporosis of the skull. She may have 20 other diseases
she's
too, but she's
55,
65,
55.
55. Okay, I'm getting a little bit of an echo here. Okay, so 55. So yeah, she's ataxia is also called vertigo. Okay, so she's got a balance problem. That's the skull squeezing the vestibular branch of the eighth cranial nerve, and they give them all these seasickness medications. It's really stupid. They really have no earthly idea. Doctors are not taught about osteoporosis of school, osteoporosis of the skull in the school, and as a result, so many people suffer unnecessarily. And I'd really like to talk to this gal, even if she has somebody else on the phone with her. Okay. And she can write out a bunch of questions so that the other person can read the questions, whatever they have to do to have her communicate. But does she give a weight? Does she give a body weight?
I haven't gotten to a body weight yet, but she said she has muscle weaknesses in her legs and she does fall a lot.
Yeah, well, that goes along with the ataxia. Okay, that's all related. And this osteoporosis of the skull, and I guarantee you she's got other things. She may have dental problems because of her jaw and upper dental arcade are involved here because it's the skull. I guarantee you she's got ringing in her ears. She may have Bell's palsy. She may have trigeminal neuralgia. She may lose her vision, optic nerve atrophy, being squeezed. Pressure in her eye could be going up because the skull can be squeezing the optic nerve, the optic artery, and the optic vein. And she could have paralysis in her hands and arms and legs and stuff. She may wake up 10 times at night to urinate as the skull is squeezing the spinal cord.
She is 5'6" and about 350 pounds.
Okay.
And no ringing in the ears, she says.
Okay. Well, 5'6" for a woman, I'd like to see her weigh 140 pounds. So she's 200 pounds overweight. So I want her to start out with one of the keto shakes, one meal a day. It doesn't have to be the same meal every day, but it's a meal replacer. It's not to add to a meal. The keto shake comes in strawberry or chocolate, but it's a meal replacer, not to add to a meal. And she can have 2 or 3 of her rebound drinks or sports drinks along with that keto shake, whichever she has a meal. And then I want her to have optimally, she would take 3 healthy brain and heart packs per month, but if it's a financial issue, don't go any lower than 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. I want her also to have 2 of the bottles of MSM, so you can take 3 with breakfast, 3 with lunch, 3 with dinner time. They will support and promote maintenance repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between a vertebrae, bone makes bone itself, including the skull and vertebrae, and so on. And she'll lose a half a pound to 2 pounds a day. I also want her to get her collagen peptides. She can get the large canisters, so she put a scoop with her morning drink and a scoop with her evening drink. And then, let's see here. I also want her to take the vitamin D3. She needs 3 bottles of her vitamin D3 a month, 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time, so she can absorb the minerals and put them in all the right places, including the skull and the vertebrae and all her long bones and joints and so on. Let's see here. And of course, usually they're going to have all kinds of bowel problems when they eat gluten. They're going to have irritable bowel syndrome, like the previous lady, Alani. Okay, they have bowel problems when you have irritable bowel syndrome. They get constipation, diarrhea. They get diverticulitis. They get Crohn's disease, and so on. And the doctor says, "Oh, you have an autoimmune disease. Your body's attacking itself." No, it's a gluten issue. Got to live like an Asian. Live on rice and sweet potatoes and corn and beans, but no fried foods. You can't have fried corn. You can have roasted corn. You can have boiled corn kind of stuff, baked corn. But get rid of the wheat, bran, rye, and oats. And of course, if you want to have a drink of beer once in a while, but get rice beer. Don't get wheat beer or rye whiskey, anything like that. Wine is good. Not a lot, but just, a small, say 2 to 4 ounce glass of wine with dinner a couple of nights a week is not a bad thing. And, you can't give up all the pleasures of life, but there's no gluten in wine because it's made from grapes and berries. Okay. Whereas beer and whiskey is made from wheat, bran, rye, and oats. Gluten, 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 gluten. That's why people who are alcoholics are all crazy. That's why people who are alcoholics have all these diseases because of the gluten that's in the beer and the whiskey. Okay. And so this is not difficult, but people have to appreciate if you're going to do this, it wouldn't hurt to have a card with your name and phone number and make a list of all the things you need to do on this card and hand it to people when you go out to dinner. Say, okay, here's what if you cannot order these foods when we're going to go out to eat together. Otherwise, I can't go out to eat with you because I have a gluten issue. And so you can't even have croutons in your salad. Okay, no, no, no. You cannot have pancakes or waffles for breakfast. You cannot have oatmeal for breakfast. You cannot have the breakfast of champions, Wheaties for breakfast. You cannot have bagels. Okay, you can have rice crackers with butter on it. And so again, this is all, in the book. It's all Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods. It's all in the book. Let's see here, Hell's Kitchen. Hell's Kitchen. Oh my gosh, that book is flying off the shelf because that tells you the exact moment down to the second when our problems began, when we went from putting wood ashes from our stoves and our fireplaces and fire pits into our gardens and into our food to electricity. That's when it all changed because that's where we were getting our minerals for thousands of years, was wood ashes we were putting in our food and wood ashes we were putting into the gardens. Once we went to electricity, no more wood ashes, no more minerals. And that's when we wound up with 40, 50 diseases, which doctors started calling genetic diseases and autoimmune diseases. Nope, 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 nope. It's just a combination of gluten consumption and no nutrients. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Wallach. And just something that I experienced, Dr. Wallach, because I had irritable bowel syndrome. I never knew where I would go weeks of constipation, and then I would go weeks and months of diarrhea. I'm just being real, folks.
Did your doctor tell you?
some.
Did your doctor tell you it was due to gluten consumption?
Oh, no. No, I had one of those, they didn't really call it autoimmune. It's just, well, I don't know exactly what's going on with your digestive system, but you just have to deal with it. Here's this for when you have bouts of diarrhea, and here's this for when you have bouts of constipation, and just treat the symptoms. Forget about the underlying cause. Let's just treat the symptoms. We don't know what's causing it. Well,
okay. So he put you into his dairy herd, and he was milking your insurance policy.
It basically that I was picking up prescriptions from the pharmacy. And I got tired of that. I got tired of having to put chemicals in my body. It did not set well in my mind because I'm like, okay, these are all chemicals. I was not made from chemicals, man-made stuff. I'm God-made from the minerals of the dust of this earth. So whenever I heard your message, Dr. Wallach, and using minerals and vitamins and food as medicine, it just totally made sense to me.
See, you're not only beautiful, you're smart.
Well, thank you very much. But I started getting those minerals in my body. That first 3 months, Dr. Wallach, I lost 20 pounds and I wasn't even
Wow.
So folks, there's really is something to what Dr. Wallach is sharing, and get back with the person that invited you to listen to this information.
I have another question. Has your
Yes, sir.
doctor ever contacted you and said, hey, let's go out and have lunch and tell me what you're doing, why you're doing so well?
No,
Never contacted
no,
you.
never contacted me. And you know, one of the saddest things is I had a client that I was taking to dialysis 3 times a week. And the doctors were telling her, well, whatever you're doing, you're going to have to stop because you don't have enough fluids for us to be able to do dialysis for you because you're not retaining water. And she's like, well, I'm peeing. Do I really need dialysis? Oh, you'll have to do it the rest of your life. Her kidney function improved. She was urinating, Dr. Wallach. She no longer had even elevated blood sugars. But she's
Wow.
told that since she started dialysis, she'd have to be on it the rest of her life.
Now, is she off of dialysis now?
She was on dialysis the rest of her life because she got an infection that attacked she got sepsis because of dirty needles that were being used in the dialysis.
Oh,
And Jonty, if you have to cut that, I'm sorry. But let's go to the next hand, Dr. Wallach.
okay. Hello.
Wayne, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi, good morning, Rebecca. Good morning, Dr. Wallach.
Yes, sir. How can we help you?
Good. I'm calling regarding a 4-year-old boy. He's 4 years, 3 feet 10 inches tall, 45 pounds. He has autism. Question, what causes autism and what would you propose as a remedy for him?
Okay, where are you from?
I live in New York.
No, that's not a New York accent. Where are you from?
Oh, I'm originally from Jamaica, the West Indies.
Okay. All right. So autism, of course, has to do with a nutritional deficiency. Does this kid have any skin problems, any eczema or dermatitis or anything like that?
No,
So he's not scratching all the time.
no.
Okay. Does he
Just
have
the
bowel
usual
problems?
physical symptoms with autism where, he's always moving around and
Okay, does he
not
have
easy to be
any-
controlled, but nothing
does-
in terms of any skin issues.
Okay. Does he have any bowel problems? Any constipation, diarrhea? Does he
Not to the best
cough?
of my knowledge.
Does he have any coughing, asthma?
No, not asthmatic, no.
Okay, autism is a very simple nutritional deficiency disease. So at 45 pounds, he needs to get off all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, Rhino. Everybody in the household, brothers and sisters, mom and dad, grandma, grandpa, uncles, dog, cat, bird, fish, everybody in the household's got to be gluten-free, okay? No
Very
fried
well.
foods. And then he has to live like an Asian, live on rice and sweet potatoes and beans and squash, vegetables, of course. And then I started him out on the kids' toddy. I just followed the directions on the back of the bottle for pound, how much of the kids' toddy per pound of body weight. Use that same recipe for dosage for the kids' toddy for cherry mints. Okay. And then I would also get the EFAs. Get the EFAs. At 45 pounds, he could have 2 a day, one at breakfast, one at dinner time. They're soft gel capsules, and kids like to chew them and swallow them. But if he doesn't, you just puncture them and squirt the liquid into the kid's toddy. And he wants to divide his dose of kid's toddy into 2 doses a day. Okay. And so follow that recipe for poundage, each dose twice a day. And he needs to eat eggs. Okay. He needs to eat eggs, soft scrambled in butter. Fried eggs won't work. Hard-boiled eggs won't work. They can be soft poached, soft boiled, soft yolk, soft scrambled in butter. I had 3 soft scrambled eggs this morning in butter. They're so soft they pour off the dish like water. Okay. And then I had my rice. I had, let's see here, what else? Oh, I had my gluten-free yogurt. And I had all my supplements, of course, all my vitamins and minerals. And I did have, I had an orange. I peeled an orange and had an orange. Okay. And so that was my breakfast this morning. And that's kind of the general breakfast I have every morning. I might have a banana some mornings instead of an orange. Some mornings I'll have an apple instead. But I don't have any, the only sort of prepared foods I have is the milk products. Okay. I like cheese, I like yogurt. And so I do have those, but they have no gluten in them. Okay. They're gluten free. And so it's one of those things where, sometimes I'll just have sliced cheese. Sometimes I'll have cottage cheese. Sometimes I'll have, but I say 80% of the time, I will just have yogurt, gluten-free, sugar-free yogurt, along with the rest of my breakfast.
Can I ask, in terms of eggs, how many would you recommend for him per day?
Okay, for this kid?
Yes.
Okay, 45 pounds. With his problems, I'd have him take one twice a day, start out with one twice a day. Once he's really gobbles them up real quick, he can go to 2 twice a day. Because they're very high in protein, very, very rich in vitamins and minerals. Just think about it. That egg, if it's fertile and you put it under a chicken, in 29 days, it goes from being an egg with the yolk and the white to a chick that pecks its way out of there. And that chick has a heart that beats, it has lungs that work, it has muscles, it has bones, it has a brain, it has eyes, it has digestive system and kidneys. All that came from all the nutrition in that yolk. Most people don't realize that, but that without all the nutrition in the yolk of that egg, that chick would never form.
Yeah.
So
And
an egg is an extreme, good, positive source of nutrition.
for the EFAs, you meant the EFAs as well as EFA plus, both?
Well, we have EFA plus and EFAs, and so you could have one EFA at breakfast, one EFA plus at dinner time.
Okay, got you.
And
And
the EFA
one
plus
last-
is from fish, and the EFAs are actually from non-gluten seeds.
Good. And one last matter here. My sister, who is 57, she is asthmatic. She is 5'4", weighs 170 pounds. What would you propose?
Does she have any
for
other
her?
issues? Does she have any skin issues? Does she have any
She's
bowel
asthmatic
issues?
and has blood pressure problem.
She does have blood pressure problem, and she has
Those two.
diabetes.
No diabetes.
Okay, I'm
Asthmatic.
missing some. Yeah, asthma and high blood pressure. Anything else? Does she have any bowel problems, constipation, diarrhea, irritable bowel syndrome?
No, I don't think she complains about one of her knees.
Okay,
She has pain
joints.
on the knee.
Okay, joints. Okay. So, and she weighs 170 pounds. So she needs to get rid of all the bad foods: no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, bread, rye, oats, no sugar. Is she the mother of this kid?
No, sir.
Okay, so none of the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, bread, rye, oats. There are no such things as gluten-free oats. Don't get hooked up with that. And then no, let's see here, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. The diet ones need to go. At 170 pounds, I wanted to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. Full dose everything twice a day. I want her to get 2 bottles a month of the MSM, so she can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. And they're going to deal with the joint problems in her knees and osteoporosis and the rest of her bones and her skull and so on. The asthma is really a very simple nutritional deficiency disease. And by getting rid of the bad stuff, she'll be able to absorb those nutrients and the asthma will go away very quickly. High blood pressure is due to a combination of things: blockages of the arteries in the brain and in the heart, coronary arteries, and the kidneys. And so I wanted to have 2 bottles a month of our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, 2 bottles a month of Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. So you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time, and they will support healthy blood pressure and healthy blood flow through blocked arteries. But don't cold turkey. If she's on medication for high blood pressure, don't cold turkey off the medication. But as the blood pressure drops, she can slowly reduce the medication based on the numbers. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So give us a call every couple of weeks, because you're going to have a great testimony for the little boy and also for your sister.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wallach.
You're welcome, sir. Vaya con Dios.
Thank you, Wayne.
You're most
All right, Dr. Wallach.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question that has been sent in to me, and my heart just goes out. So, a 33-year-old woman, she is overweight. She does eat gluten. She gave birth to her first baby girl at the age of 33. Lily was born at 39 weeks.
No,
just this
I'm sorry,
past
did you
April.
say, wait a minute, did you say her husband sent this information into you?
Actually, no, one of her friends.
Okay,
So the baby was born 8 pounds, 3 ounces, 20 inches long, at 39 weeks. Was a C-section because mom's blood pressure suddenly went up and the baby's heart rate went up. Now the baby's in the hospital due to head growing too fast, and she's at the Children's Hospital for research, and they just got a report this morning saying that they found white matter on her brain, which is quite serious, they're saying.
okay, wait, how old is this baby now?
So this baby is less than a month old.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
I'm not quite sure what they mean by white matter in the brain. The white matter of the brain is the, what should I say, is the insulation material of the nerves, okay? And so white matter in the brain is not unusual. So I'm confused here. Are they talking about pus? Are they talking about white blood cells?
they're doing more testing.
Did they say what symptoms the baby has?
Other than the brain swelling, there is a little bit of extra note here saying that mom had a molar pregnancy in 2020, which I'm not sure what that is as well.
But the baby's head is growing faster than its body.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. And so yeah, basically, that means that the body's growing slowly. Okay. So the body's not keeping up with the head. Do we know how much the baby weighs?
It was born at 8 pounds, 3 ounces. I don't have a date. I don't have a weight as of now.
Sure.
At almost a
Okay.
month.
Well, here's where the kid's toddy is going to come in. Okay. Is the mother breastfeeding the baby?
Ruth Ellen, do we know that information?
No, I wasn't given that information.
Okay, so let's give the baby, whether it's getting a formula, which isn't available, so I can't believe they've given a formula. But let's say, we're going to give the baby cow's milk and goat's milk and all that kind of stuff. The baby also should be taking the kid's toddy. And again, the dosage per pound of body weight's on the back label. Use that same dosage pattern for the Cherry Mins, and don't forget the EFAs. I'd go ahead and give it 1 EFA at breakfast, 1 EFA plus at dinner time. Go ahead and puncture the EFAs and squeeze them into the kid's toddy at breakfast and squeeze them into the kid's toddy at dinner time. And that's, in addition to whatever source of milk the baby's getting. If it's getting a commercial, something like Infamil or Similac, one of the baby formulas, that's fine. Just add this to it. Now, I'm the guy who got rid of cystic fibrosis, muscular dystrophy, and sudden death syndrome by putting nutrients into the baby formulas. It took 25 years and millions of dollars out of my own pocket to, in federal courts, where we were petitioning the FDA and the NIH in federal courts constantly for 25 years. Finally prevailed, got it all in there. And within like 6 months, you don't hear about cystic fibrosis anymore. It's gone because I put these nutrients into the baby formula. You don't hear about muscular dystrophy anymore. We gave the information to Jerry Lewis. He got excited because we gave him 10 charts where we had cured the babies with muscular dystrophy. He took them to the Muscular Dystrophy Association. They fired Jerry Lewis and shut down the telethon after 50 years. He made them $2.7 billion, and they fired him because I convinced him that it was not a genetic disease like they thought. So they fired Jerry Lewis. And then within a couple more months, sudden death syndrome stopped. Right now, in 1990, when I first got all this stuff put into the baby formulas in 1990, sudden death syndrome, okay, SIDS, occurred at a rate of 125 to 135 to 140 per 100,000 normal births. Today, it's 15 to 20. It's gone down 90% since we put these nutrients into the baby formula. Sudden death syndrome has essentially disappeared. The only ones with sudden death syndrome right now are ones who are not getting baby formulas, or they're getting baby formulas, but they're also getting gluten and they can't absorb any nutrition, that kind of stuff. And so I'm very, very proud of that. We went from 135 to 140 cases per 100,000 normal births, has amounted to about 3,400 babies dying every year in the USA from sudden death syndrome, to now it's just 15 to 20 per 100,000. So it went down by 90% because we forced them to put these nutrients into the baby formula. Mothers were not laying on the babies. Doctors said the mothers were laying on the babies. That's what was killing them. And so many mothers committed suicide because their families, their churches, their communities dissed them because they believed the doctors, and the doctors said, oh, the mother was laying on the babies and suffocated the baby. No, the babies were dying from nutritional deficiencies. And those doctors who pointed their fingers at the mothers should look in the mirror and point the fingers at themselves.
I agree, Dr. Wallach. Thank you for that information. Let's go to our next hand that is up. And Lisa, if you could unmute yourself, you are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Lisa.
Good morning.
Hi, where are you from?
I'm from Orange County, California.
Okay, and how old are you?
Actually, I'm calling regarding my daughter.
Okay, how old is she?
She is 32 years old. She's 162 pounds. She's 5'4". She has multiple health issues and taking many medications.
Oh, you're talking
without
away from the,
results.
okay, you talked away from the phone
I'm
there for a
sorry.
minute, so I didn't get what symptoms does she have?
She has multiple health issues and is taking many medications without results.
Okay, well, that doesn't tell me anything. What does many health issues mean?
I sent in a list of 31 items, starting with endometriosis, chronic pelvic pain, chronic diarrhea, anxiety. She has IBS, chronic headaches, chronic insomnia, chronic abdominal pain, overactive bladder.
You're talking about urinary bladder?
Yes. She has psychogenic non-epileptic seizures, dorsal back pain, neck pain, calcium deficiency, potassium deficiency.
Okay, well, let's stop there. Okay, she got osteoporosis of the skull. She's got irritable bowel syndrome, which is a gluten issue. So the first thing she needs to do is get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, bran, oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. And she can use our Rebound or sports drink with 100 nutrients in it for drinking, okay, as opposed to soft drinks. And then I want her at 162 pounds to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. Again, none of the bad foods, okay, and that means no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, bran, oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go, and this will be forever. This isn't until she just feels better and she go back to the old ways. No, this is forever, okay? Then she needs 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose of everything twice a day. She needs 2 bottles a month of our MSM, so you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, or dinner time. They will support and promote maintenance repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, discs between her vertebrae, bone makes a bone cell, including the skull. Then she needs, let's see here, the collagen peptides, a scoop of that in her morning drink, a scoop of that in her evening drink. She needs 2 bottles a month of her vitamin D3, so you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. I also would like her to have, does she have any high blood pressure or diabetes or low blood sugar or anything like that?
They removed her gallbladder, I believe, in 2010, and she has problems with her blood pressure being low.
Mm-hmm.
She also has had HPV, I believe, for 16 years. Or 17 years, I'm sorry. It's
What is
kind of like-
HPD? What is HPD?
HPV.
HPV? Oh, okay.
Human papillomavirus.
Okay, so you got
Correct.
warts.
Intergenital area.
Yeah, well, it's warts. Okay. Okay. You know, she's been playing with too many toads and frogs and things like that. All right. And so that's a joke, of course. And then, okay. And so, and then I do want her to take our hair, skin, and nails, get 2 bottles a month, so you can take 3 of those twice a day. And don't forget the vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day, is 2 bottles a month. I also want her to have her Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Go ahead and take 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. And that's going to help regulate blood pressure. If it's low, it'll bring it up to normal. If it's high, it'll bring it down to normal. Okay. And then call me every couple of weeks. But she's got to get rid of all the bad stuff because her irritable bowel syndrome, her gluten issues are the basic underlying problem of all her things. Because she, even if she's supplementing, if she's still eating the bad food, she will not be able to absorb the nutrition. So none of these things are going to change. The doctors will say, oh, it's autoimmune, it's genetic. No, that's all nonsense. They're just all nutritional deficiency diseases. Okay. And so you're going to have a great story, but everything's got to be drastically changed. Everybody in her surroundings, husband, boyfriend, mom, dad, grandma, caregiver, house cleaner, dog, cat, bird, fish. She cannot work in a bakery. She, you know, when you understand what I'm saying, she's got to wash everything. She cannot have any of the bad foods. And then, of course, you got to take all these nutrients. All these diseases you're mentioning are all simple nutritional deficiency diseases. Okay. And she does have, does she ever get sleepy after meals? Is she, you know, she'll eat a meal and then a half hour later she goes to bed?
Yeah, her sleep pattern is non-traditional. So she'll not sleep at night and sleep during the day, and it's periodic.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's because she got a low blood sugar problem. Okay. So she needs the sweeties. Take 3 of those twice a day. It's 2 bottles a month of sweeties. That'll help regulate the sugar. That's why people get head-on accidents on the highway. Why'd they cross the center line? We did an autopsy. Didn't have any drugs in them. Why'd they cross the center line? Well, because half hour after they ate, they fell asleep while they were driving. Okay. That's why that's how that happens. Okay. So give us a call every couple of weeks. You're going to have a great testimony.
Can I ask one more question? I know you've talked to several people about diabetes, and I am borderline, and I come from a family that has
It's not genetic. It's not genetic. Don't go there.
Okay.
It's a simple nutritional deficiency disease. How much do you weigh?
214 and a half.
How tall are you?
About 5'5".
Okay, you should weigh about 140 pounds. You're about 60 pounds overweight. I want you to have 1 meal a day or keto shake. Okay, you have, that's a meal replacer. It's not to add to a meal. It's a meal replacer. You can also have a couple of our rebound sports drinks at that same meal. Okay, then you'll lose a half a pound to 2 pounds a day. And then I want you to take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, full dosing twice a day. I want you to take the MSM, 2 bottles a month, so you can take 3 with each meal. Lastly, I want you to take our sweeties, take 3 of those twice a day. It's 2 bottles a month. And you don't have to have a doctor's permission to go to the pharmacy without a prescription and buy the test strips. And if you don't want to stick your finger, you can just get the urine test strips and pee on them. And it'll tell you if you have sugar in your urine, okay? And it'll tell you how much sugar is in your urine. But if you don't mind sticking your finger once a week or something like that, I wouldn't do it every day, but once a week you can check out your blood sugar, especially if you get drowsy or sleepy, see what your blood sugar is.
I test regularly.
Okay, good. All right, so you'll see a big difference when you do this and add these nutrients to your life and stay away from the bad stuff so you can absorb them. Don't forget, if you're not absorbing them, taking them, you might as well just throw them in the ditch.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Keep in touch with us.
Will do.
All right. Thank you, Lisa. Dr. Wallach, let's hurry and see if we can get at least one more in.
Yeah, we can squeeze at least one in.
All right, let's go to Tanya. Tanya, you are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Tanya.
Thank you, Dr. Wallach. I have, yes, I've won a couple times. So thank you so much for all your help. Can I say thank you for the car analogy? I have a nephew that's a mechanic, and I'm slowly planting seeds using that analogy. So thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question. I do have an aunt that has been quite resistant to being open to the minerals. She just came around to that because she is 67, has multiple health issues. She did have a stroke about 10 years ago. She does have diabetes, high blood pressure. She does take a lot of Advil, Imodium, and she just started doing iron infusions, and she's been getting like a metallic taste after the iron infusions. Now, right after her iron infusion last week, I did take her to the appointment when we were leaving. She needed to go to the bathroom, and she actually collapsed on me and fainted, lost consciousness for about 20
Okay.
seconds.
Okay. Stop. Okay. How much does she weigh?
I'd say probably 130.
Okay. All right. Does she have any skin problems or bowel problems?
Yes, she has explosive diarrhea. That was the issue. And at the time, she had very low blood pressure and very high blood sugar.
Okay,
when
so
the
high blood
ambulance
sugar. Okay, well, high blood sugar is called what? Diabetes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, she needs to get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens. And when you're anemic and they want to give you iron shots, that's because she cannot absorb iron even if she's taking it orally, because her intestines are damaged. Your intestines go from being like a shag rug when they're normal to when you're eating gluten, they go to like a plastic tube. You lose 98% of the absorptive surface. And you get what's called a gluten intolerance, right? Okay. So she needs to get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat bioranos, no sugar, no carbonated drinks, even the diet ones got to go. And 130 pounds with all her issues, I started out with 2 healthy brain. I weigh 142 and I take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. Okay, plus all the other stuff that I tell other people to take. I've been doing it for over 50 years. Okay. And so I'm 83, and most people think I'm in my 50s when they look at me and listen to me. They can't believe that I'm 83. Okay. And so it's one of those things where 2 healthy brain and heart packs, a full dose of everything twice a day, 2 bottles a month of the MSM, so you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner. Then for the blood sugar issues, I wanted to have 2 bottles a month of our Sweet Ease. She can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner. And of course, she does need to monitor her blood sugar. If she's on medication, she needs to be aware. And as her blood sugar drops, she can reduce her medication based on the numbers. High blood pressure, she needs 2 bottles a month of our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, she can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. And don't cold turkey off the medication for high blood pressure. But as the blood pressure begins to drop, she can reduce the medication based on the numbers. And that'll also help with her symptoms of her stroke she's had earlier, the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Okay. And let's see here. Let's go there. If she's getting off of gluten, I mean, drop dead gluten free, the diarrhea, the intermittent diarrhea and irritable bowel syndrome and all that kind of stuff will go away very quickly because it's all due to gluten. Gluten. There is no such thing as gluten-free oats. Okay. So we're going to love to hear from you because you're going to have a couple of great testimonies here.
Okay, thank you. Now, what do you say when somebody has a reaction to starting the minerals and they have like an adverse reaction or it bothers their stomach?
Okay, well, just instead of taking the 2 full doses, what you do is you take a half a dose, a couple hours apart. Just, cut not the total dose during the day, but cut the dose per meal or something like that. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Instead of taking 2 doses a day, make it 4 doses a day, which are 4 half doses.
Okay. And is it okay? I've created an earthing spray with the plant-derived minerals and the Sweet Soothe essential oil to spray on her feet because it's bothering her digestion. And I thought if I can sneak extra plant-derived minerals in by using that earthing spray with the plant-derived minerals, then that will help. Is that?
Well, you can actually get a great benefit from putting the minerals on the skin. I take people who are in a coma for 6 months. The doctors say they only have a couple of days to live. We just rub the plant minerals on their skin and 3 days later they wake up and go back to work. Okay. And so you will absorb a lot of the minerals through the skin. No doubt about it.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your help.
You bet. Yeah, that's why we have this the CD and the DVD called Praise the Lord and Pass the 90. If you're ever in the military, you know what that means. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. In this case, praise the Lord and pass the 90.
Thank you, Tanya. All right, Dr. Wallach, we are at the top of the hour. I can't believe 2 hours have passed by so quickly.
Woo!
So much information that has been shared. I apologize for the hands that are still up, the questions that had come in through the chat. We even had a testimonial that wanted to be shared, Dr. Wallach. But we are at the top of the hour. I know you have a very busy schedule, and I just thank you for all the time that you share with us as part of the Ask Doc Live crew. On behalf of myself, Ruth Ellen Sanchez, Heather Bowen, Dr. Judy Reynolds, John T. McCollier, Nasima Omar, we love you, Dr. Wallach.
Well,
And
I love you guys too. You and your team are just great. And you know, this is just the beginning. It's only going to get better.
That's right. It's only going to get better. And we love all of you who take the time out of your busy schedules, investing in getting information to improve yourself and your community and those around you.
And parting word here,
Yes.
Rebecca, don't forget Johanna Mazibuko just turned 128. Must be doing something right.
Must be doing something right. Absolutely. And instead of just guessing and trying to figure out what somebody's doing right, let's be intentional in making sure that we give our body what it needs to be able to thrive. For those of you who are watching this program or would like more information, get back with the person that shared this program with you, or on our website, for those who have not had any information or have not spoken with anybody, go to AskDocLive.com. You will find all of our replays there, but you'll also find a contact us. You can use that contact us to send us an email, and we can help make sure that you get the products that are best fit for you and helping you meet the deficiencies that may be in existence in your body and help you on your health journey. My name again is Rebecca Dukes-Kozak on behalf of the Ask Doc Live crew. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Dr. Wallach.